Have you ever heard of a book so controversial, so mysterious, that it was left out of the Bible? A text filled with fallen angels, giant offspring, and mind-blowing prophecies about the end of days? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most enigmatic texts in history, the Book of Enoch. What secrets does it hold? And why was it considered too dangerous for mainstream scripture? Let's find out. First, what exactly is the Book of Enoch? It's an ancient Hebrew apocalyptic text attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. You know, the guy from Genesis who walked with God and then was no more because God took him away. This book claims to be his first-hand account of the visions and journeys he took through the heavens. It's not one single book, but a collection of 5 major sections, including the Book of the Watchers, the Book of Parables, and the Astronomical Book. While it's not part of the standard Jewish or most Christian biblical canons, it is considered scripture by the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church and the Eritrean Orthodox Tewahedo Church. So, for millions of people, this isn't just a forgotten text, it's sacred. The most explosive part of the Book of Enoch is undoubtedly the story of the Watchers. According to the text, these were a group of 200 angels who descended to earth, but they didn't come to help. They became captivated by the beauty of human women and, led by an angel named Samyaza, they made a pact to take human wives. This was a direct violation of God's law. From these forbidden unions, a race of giants was born, the Nephilim. These giants were enormous, destructive beings who consumed all of humanity's resources. When that wasn't enough, they started eating humans themselves and even turned on each other. The world descended into chaos, violence, and corruption. But the Watchers did more than just create giants. The book says they taught humanity forbidden knowledge. Things like sorcery, incantations, astrology, and perhaps most significantly, the art of making weapons and cosmetics. Think about that for a second. The book suggests that warfare and vanity were not human inventions, but were taught to us by fallen celestial beings. This paints a radical picture of early human history, one where our downfall wasn't just our own doing, but was instigated by rebellious angels. This is a huge departure from the simple story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. It adds a layer of cosmic rebellion and forbidden wisdom that completely changes the narrative. So, how does God respond to this angelic rebellion and the chaos on earth? According to Enoch, God sends the archangels to intervene. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel are tasked with cleaning up the mess. They are instructed to bind the fallen Watchers and cast them into a fiery abyss, a place of darkness and eternal punishment, until the final judgment. The giants, the Nephilim, were sentenced to destroy each other in battle, and their spirits were doomed to wander the earth as demons, causing trouble until the end of time. And what about humanity? The corruption was so widespread that God decided to cleanse the earth with the Great Flood, saving only Noah and his family. The Book of Enoch provides this incredibly detailed backstory to the flood story in Genesis, explaining exactly why such a drastic measure was necessary. Another fascinating aspect of the book is its detailed prophecies, especially concerning the Messiah, or the Son of Man. The Book of Parables, a section of Enoch, describes a pre-existent, divine figure who sits on a throne of glory in heaven. He's called the Righteous One, the Elect One, and the Son of Man. This figure is depicted as the ultimate judge who will overthrow the kings and the mighty of the earth and bring about an age of righteousness. Many scholars point out the striking similarities between this description and the titles used for Jesus in the New Testament. In fact, the New Testament seems to quote or allude to the Book of Enoch multiple times. The Epistle of Jude, for example, directly quotes a prophecy from Enoch about the Lord coming with thousands of his holy ones to execute judgment. This suggests that the early Christians were very familiar with Enoch's writings and held them in high regard. This brings us to the big question. If it was so influential, why was the Book of Enoch left out of the Bible? There's no single, simple answer. By the 4th century, when the biblical canon was being finalized, the book's popularity was waning among many Christian and Jewish groups. Some church fathers, like Augustine, questioned its authenticity. They were uncomfortable with its strange tales of lustful angels and giants, which seemed to contradict the idea of angels as purely spiritual beings. Others worried it might lead people astray with its complex cosmology and angelology. The idea that angels could sin and have physical offspring was a particularly thorny theological problem. It was also seen as apocalyptic literature, a genre that was becoming less popular as the church became more established and less focused on the immediate end of the world. So, gradually, it was pushed to the margins and, in the Western world, was almost entirely lost for over 1,000 years. The story of its rediscovery is just as incredible. For centuries, the Book of Enoch was known only through fragments and references in other ancient texts. It was considered a lost book. Then, in 1773, the famous Scottish explorer James Bruce traveled to Ethiopia. He was searching for the source of the Blue Nile, but he found something arguably even more significant. He acquired several ancient copies of the complete Book of Enoch in the Ge'ez language, the liturgical language of the Ethiopian Church. When he brought these back to Europe, it caused a sensation. Scholars finally had the complete text, and it opened up a whole new window into the beliefs of early Judaism and Christianity. Then, in the 20th century, fragments of the original Aramaic version of the Book of Enoch were found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, proving its ancient origins and confirming that it was widely read in Judea during the Second Temple period, the time of Jesus. So, what should we make of the Book of Enoch today? Is it a divinely inspired text? A historical account of fallen angels and giants? Or is it a powerful piece of religious fiction, an ancient attempt to grapple with the problem of evil and the nature of the cosmos? For some, it's the missing chapter of human history, a key that unlocks the secrets of the Bible. For others, it is a fascinating artifact that reveals the rich and diverse world of thought that existed before our modern religious traditions were set in stone. It challenges our neat categories and forces us to reconsider what people believed about God, angels, and humanity thousands of years ago. It reminds us that the story of our faith is much more complex and mysterious than we often think. Whether you see it as scripture or mythology, the Book of Enoch offers a breathtaking vision, a glimpse into a world filled with cosmic drama, divine judgment, and the enduring hope for a righteous future. What do you think? Is the Book of Enoch a hidden truth that was deliberately suppressed? Or was it rightly excluded from the canon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into ancient mysteries, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into forgotten history and enigmatic texts. Thanks for watching.